Hello, beautiful. It is day 3 of the challenge, and today we are talking all about hydration. So I happen to have my very handy, very large water bottle here just to show you, which we'll talk about later. So today we're talking about hydration, and I'm doing this purposefully, talking about hydration before we dive into nutrition the last 2 days of the program, because Day 1, we talked about your mindset and got you right around that. Day 2, we got your body moving and feeling really good and alive and energetic. Now I want to talk about hydrating, because so many of us are walking around totally dehydrated. And if you think about it, our bodies are made up of over 70% water, and our brain has a very high water content as well. So when we're dehydrated, we're doing our bodies a huge disservice, which is why we often have headaches, we may have trouble going to the bathroom, we may feel fatigued easier, and this is for all my snackers out there. Just a fun little fact, the same hormone receptors and signals that control your appetite and satiety and tell you that you're hungry or full also control your thirst and tell you when you're thirsty or when you've had enough water. So we might oftentimes, we're so used to snacking all the time, think that we're hungry, but in fact, we're actually just thirsty and dehydrated. So your goal and your challenge for the day is to drink your full body weight in ounces of water. So for an example, I don't know, I really haven't weighed myself in a very long time, but somewhere between 135, I think, and 140 pounds, since I'm an honest person and I want to work with my own personal equation just to give you an idea and an example. So I want to have a little less than, I'm usually much better at mental math in my head, but a little less than 20 glasses of water a day. So bringing this back, this guy right here is 40 ounces. So if I drink 3 of these or 4 of these, I'm over my suggested amount. But yeah, I tend to personally go through probably 3 to 4 of these a day, depending on my activity level. And some people might think that that's excessive, and that's fine. I do it because it works for me. But I think if you have that goal in mind of going for your full body weight in ounces, then it makes it a little bit more understandable for how much you should be drinking. And I will say, for all my coffee drinkers out there or my girls that are drinking alcohol, for every 1 glass of coffee or alcohol, not that I'm, suggesting either of them, especially during this challenge week, you do what you gotta do. If you are having coffee or alcohol, you want to replenish every 1 cup of each or 1 serving of each with 2 glasses of water. So if you're thinking, okay, you weigh 120 pounds, your goal is 120 ounces of water, and you have 2 cups of coffee, you want to add an additional 32 ounces of water onto that 120 to balance out and come back to your hydration balance. Does that make sense? But here are some other things that you can do. So I think the biggest thing is just reminding yourself to drink enough. And if you're not used to doing this, it does, like everything in this challenge, if you're not used to it, take some conscious effort and planning. So something that works for some people, I've had it work for my clients, is to set a reminder every hour to check in with yourself, and a reminder, truly, put it in your label on your phone to drink water. I always start every morning with water, and here's a little extra boost. So I include half a freshly squeezed lemon, and some Himalayan sea salt, just a pinch, which is really great for restoring your hydration and also keeping you hydrated. Himalayan sea salt has so many has so many minerals and nutrients inside of it, which will help refuel your cells, keep your blood sugar balanced. And then lemon is also really important for flushing out the toxins in your system. So you may notice, if you're not used to doing that in the morning, that it stimulates your digestion and you have to go to the bathroom. That's great. While this is not a detox program this week, it is a wellness challenge. It's really great to think about elimination, especially if you want to increase your energy and feel better and lose weight. So I do that in the morning. And then I carry this water bottle with me everywhere I go. And I can't tell you, like some of my coworkers used to tease me and say, oh, it's like an extension of your arm. And I looked at them and I said, so what? So that I don't have to get up and walk and refill my tiny little cup 20 times an hour. This is my reminder. It sits right in front of me like that most of the day, so that I remind myself to drink water when I'm really busy and I'm not consciously thinking about it. Let's see. So also something important to note, again, we haven't talked about nutrition yet, but there are foods, primarily fruits and vegetables, that are super hydrating for your body, that when you're taking that in, you're also taking in water content, so it's extra hydrating. Cucumber, celery are probably, watermelon, which is out of season at this point, are 3 of the most common hydrating fruits and vegetables. And really, like lettuces have high water content. Any fruits and vegetables that you include are going to naturally have a water content base. So it's helping you stay hydrated throughout the day. But aim to drink your water. Some people don't like the taste of it. I mean, personally, I don't think water tastes like anything, so caught your bluff there. But if you're used to drinking things that are a little more tasty, my number 1 recommendation would be to add either some herbs, so you can add some mint or fresh cucumber or berries or citrus fruit to your water, so that it's flavoring it a little bit. Because I think some people, like, that's the biggest thing that puts them off, is like, oh, it doesn't taste like anything, or oh, I don't enjoy it. That's a way to hack that thought out the window. Again, just want to look at my notes here. I think it's pretty plain and simple. I think the majority of us forget that when we break a sweat, while we're sleeping, if we're eating a lot of sugary foods, or if we're drinking a lot of coffee or alcohol, these things can all naturally take away your hydration. Obviously we excrete via urine or sweat. So if you are busting a move and working really hard at the gym because of the challenge from day 2, you want to make sure that you're replacing that fluid. So hopefully that makes sense. Pretty simple, again, in terms of what the challenge entails, but I can assure you, if you're watching this and you're not already a water expert and you're not drinking tons of water a day, there's room to improve. So let me know how this challenge goes for you. If it's simple, feel free to add in the 2 challenges the day before and focus on more than one. But again, my goal for you is to focus on just one at a time and not overwhelm you, and get this right and allow it to feel good. So put those reminders in your phone to remind yourself to drink water. Opt for water instead of a soda. It might not be an even keeled exchange, but think about how you can add more water into your day. When you're drinking tea, because that's primarily water and you're just adding the tea leaves or the tea bag in, that's water also. But things like alcohol, sugar, and coffee, and of course sweating and breaking a sweat, which is good for you, can diminish our hydration levels in our body. So make sure you're thinking about that. Aim for your full body weight in ounces of water. Again, it's an aim, it's a goal. If you don't get there, it's okay, but at least you're conscious of it. Keep the big water bottle in front of you. Start a challenge with your coworkers or your friends or your siblings. We had a water challenge at work, and it actually was funny because there were a couple of us who just were already on autopilot, but it got us thinking about drinking water even more consciously when you have a little friendly competition going on. So just some tips for you. Make it fun, make it tasty, and make it happen.